Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Moms Mean Business. Today, we have the incredible Deanna of Deanna's Swim Academy here for a chat, who is going to tell us loads all about her background, being a mom, being a business owner. I'm so excited. Deanna, you've been an inspiration to me for a very long time. We met, I think it was in Stilettos. We
Yes.
met years ago, which was this beautiful little, very private and unique women's business networking. It was very underground. It was never advertised, anything like that. You kind of had to be invited into it. And it was so beautiful. And that actually wound up when I was pregnant on my little boy. And I think there was many tears shed to see the back of that little group, but there was something very special about it. So today we're going to have a chat with Deanna. So excited to have you here. And
Thank you.
first off, can you tell me, because you're a bit of a champion swimmer, aren't you?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm delighted to be here and talk to you. And yes, I was national champion. That was long time ago. I was competing in international competitions. So swimming is all my life. Well, from 9 years old onwards, which is quite late for competitive. Like to learn to swim at 9 years old
Yeah.
and be competitive swimmer later. It's quite late age to learn to swim, if
Oh,
that makes
really?
sense. Yeah, so I started quite late, but it didn't stop me. It's still achieved what I wanted to achieve, and I'm still in swimming environment. So I
Wow.
did last couple of weeks.
Fantastic. That's incredible. And was swimming a passion for you?
Well, it is a passion now. Not always was like this because I learned to swim 9 years old, and then I was messing around. It was my playground, one of my playgrounds, and training it was more intensive in here. So in Lithuania, if you're learning to swim, you're swimming 3 times a week for beginners, and as more you will progress, you will adding more training, and that's the reason why even though I learned quite late, I catched it up because the training load is way more intense than here.
Mm.
So yeah, it's all my, like, I love water. I adore water. It doesn't matter temperature anymore. It doesn't matter, is it lake? Is it swimming pool? I love water and just splashing around.
Beautiful. Actually, when you're saying about the temperature, have you heard about the Wim Hof method?
No. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to have to check this guy out. He
Definitely.
climbs mountains in the snow in his boxer shorts,
Yes.
and he does all this ice pool plunging and things like that. And YouTube, he's absolutely amazing. I think he's German, and he's a bit of an aggressive manner towards him, but a beautiful soul. He's very interesting. And I know people who have studied with him, gone and traveled and done workshops with him, and it's incredible. Yeah.
There is very similar to in Russian style.
Mm.
The guy who is kind of into swimming and introducing. Oh, it's also quite dramatic if you don't know what's behind it and you don't understand how does it work, but you just looking the moment. It's really shocking, but obviously there is a science behind it, and people, if they would understand it, it wouldn't look as shocking.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and the benefits of it is incredible.
It is, and I don't think we chatting the benefits. We chatting, but it's very shallow. We're saying how good it is. We're saying that it's engaging in exercise, but there is so much more than that. It's physiological, it's mental, and even it's scientifically proven that children who start swimming very young age and continuously doing that, they how to say, more succeed, but just because the way their brain works. So it's actually really good, safe environment, and it's fantastic to learn.
That's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, yeah, I love it all. So then you moved to Ireland. What brought you over here and got you on your path?
Yes, so I moved to Ireland in 2006. Actually, the first time I came in, it was 2005, and it was for my Christmas holidays to visit friends. Um,
Lovely.
so I planned to stay 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I got ill here very badly.
Oh,
So I had to rush it back home, and it took me around 3 months to recover. But
wow.
those few weeks left big impact on
They
me.
must have for you to come
Yes, and
back.
I said it doesn't matter how long it takes. I'm getting better. I'm going back to Ireland. I loved the people here. I loved the approach. Even going through the street and just strangers' eyes meeting, smile and asking how are you and things like that. It was unusual in Lithuania. I think it still is because from Lithuania. So that was like, oh, I really feel comfortable here, and I like that, and I want to more connect with people. And I said I have to come back definitely. So I came back in 2006. Yeah, so that long time ago.
Wonderful. And did you meet your husband here? Is he Irish?
He's Irish.
Yes.
He's Irish. Yes, there is a story behind it. So it's funny because when I came in here, I didn't speak English, even though I did subject as English at
Hmm.
school. But I always was saying, I don't need English. What do I need for? I won't travel anywhere. So I said I don't need that, and I'm not the best into the languages. I always like science, and I like more maths and physics more than languages. So English was my worst subject. So when I came into Ireland, I could say hello, my name is, but I have no clue what people were saying. The accent, Irish accent, I didn't understand anything. And
Wow.
my first job was, I actually came in Ireland. I think around, I had in my pocket around 200 euros. So I came in, I moved in
Very
Ireland,
brave.
no more than 200 euros. At the time, it was big money, and still big money in Lithuania. But yes, so my first job was Dell,
Yes.
building computers and servers. And my husband is the guy who interviewed me for my first job.
No way.
Yes,
You made an
and
impression.
yeah, well, this is his job. Like it wasn't like that. It was after 6 weeks and so on. But I was so
Mm.
grateful for, so when he was passing me after 6 weeks in corridor, I just said hello. That's all I said, and he basically, that was enough to say hello. He just turned back and
Oh,
hi, and then he found me. But yeah, so this is the story. So this is my first job. My husband I met in Dell as well. So Dell gave a lot to me. Yeah.
yes, it did. Oh, that's incredible.
It was
And
very funny, Valerie, because we couldn't speak. Like, what? That's why I'm joking now. He liked me more because I agreed with everything what he was saying. Where now I don't. So
the perfect woman, just say yes.
yes, yes. So he says, yeah, that's perfect. Not anymore, though. Not anymore.
I'm sure. That's brilliant. Oh, wow, I love it. And what made you then transition from Dale? There was obviously a burning desire inside of you to follow your dream.
Yes. So going back to my studies, now I finished a swim coaching bachelor degree, because in Lithuania, if you want to be a swim teacher or swim coach, you have to finish bachelor degree, which is 4 year studies. It's not courses like here. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
bit different. So people who going for 4 years, they obviously supposed to know what they aiming for. It wasn't the case in my case. It wasn't the case, because I went in study because I was training morning evening. So at 5 a.m. I was in the swimming pool, then going to the school. After school, I'm going back to the training on the land, and then back in water, and then homework, and it's routine.
Wow.
So we were swimming Monday to Saturday, and Sundays off if we didn't compete. If we compete, we didn't have Saturdays, Sundays either. So because it was so intense,
Yeah.
I thought this is the easiest way and just I'll go into coaching.
Yeah.
But when I was studying swimming coaching, I didn't really think I will work as a swim teacher or coach,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought I won't have patience. And even now, lectures reminds me, like, do you remember you said you won't have anything to do with water? So, so never say never, because
Yeah.
this is twice now. I said I don't need English, and now I'm in Ireland living for 17 years. I said I never will be a swim teacher coach. For that reason, my master's was in public administration, because I wanted to switch completely different, go
Yeah.
different pathway. And when I came into Ireland, I changed the job, because it's still a personal trainer, kind of. So I went into the gym. It was the pool there, and I started teaching lessons. And this is where I found myself again. That children, they didn't judge me with language barrier. It felt so comfortable. We had great fun. They got results, because obviously I had a baggage, which I learn and teaching. I had the tools to teach them, and I just fall in love in it again, and got so many more clients, and just basically moved on, decided that I need to move on and to create something, like the Anderson Academy.
That's absolutely incredible. And was it very difficult? You weren't a mum when you started, were you?
No, I wasn't a mom. I was just myself and
Yeah.
boyfriend at the time. So it was difficult, and it's still
Mm.
not easy now. That never goes away,
Yeah.
Um, that language barrier, because like I said, I just knew few words when I came in, and it was
Yeah.
really broken. I didn't understand a lot of people, what they're saying. So, but somehow, even late in my career, I'll tell you, I'll explain you later, that I had opportunities to teach with no languages, like I don't know language, but I'm still teaching. And
Yeah.
this is where I felt really, really comfortable.
Mm.
And this is where I, started. So it was difficult, because at the time, I even were working leisure attended, and then afterwards I was working 3 or 4 hours, or 2 or 3 hours depending on the day, in the swimming pool, in the water.
Mhm.
So it wasn't easy, but it's a joy as well. so
Yeah.
so it's mixes, yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. And then what were your first steps then in starting up the business? Because it's a very big jump from going from employee to self-employed.
Yes, because I got so busy having full-time job and working extra hours. It just transitioned. I didn't even I took the risk. I like the risk. It's always the risk. Life is a risk,
Yeah.
so you have to take a chances, and it's a confidence, I guess, because I knew I can deliver. I saw results. I saw the feedback from parents and children. They are the ones who pushed me out of it as well, because they are the ones who gave me confidence and the boost towards it. So thanks
Fabulous.
thanks to my customers.
Yeah.
But
That's often the case.
absolutely, because so it just moved on, and then decision, okay, what I need to do to work just one job, not doing two jobs, and
Mhm.
just moved on and created and started working myself first. And then happened then Dell closed,
Yeah.
and my husband lost job.
Mhm.
So he was looking for jobs, couldn't find it, and I was really struggling with admin part,
Yeah.
because of language barrier. So I was calling, organizing courses for 2 weeks to organize one course or something like that. So
Mhm.
I offered him a job.
I hope you interviewed him.
No, I'm interviewing all life, yeah. So yeah, so he came in on board, and in beginning, like a little bit resistance, because obviously it's completely new area. He didn't know much about swimming,
Mhm.
but we still working together. Yes.
That's absolutely incredible. And I'm imagining that the change of roles for him and you almost, I know you'd be equal, but at the beginning, I'm sure he saw it as she's my boss now. And it went from he was interviewing you to now you almost employing him. That's absolutely
Yeah, I don't think he sees that like we see that way. He
amazing.
probably saw like I'll help her, you know, and it's kind of not really boss, but helping.
Yeah,
Now sometimes our opinions is disagree at the
yeah.
moment because the NSFM Academy is quite big and sometimes a strong decision has to be made.
Mm.
And then if our opinions disagree, unfortunately it has to go what I say. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it is very very challenging, you know. It's still a teamwork, and we grew so much, you know. We grew so much. We I started myself, and then Jason came in, and then other teachers came in, and other coaches came in, and now we have 7 employees and plus 2 outside contractors. So it's 5 coaches, included myself. There's 3 admin workers, and
Fantastic.
yeah, and 1 supervisor of the pool. So it's really rolling, and we're still looking for new coaches and teachers. So we always looking to expand. Yeah.
And is it difficult finding coaches and teachers in Ireland?
Very difficult. Very
Yeah.
difficult. Now, why it's difficult? Because there is 2 points why it's difficult, I think. The first, that in Ireland at the moment, swim teachers and coaches qualification is quite easy accessible,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is doing like students like extra job, you know, like during the summer or so an extra job,
Mm-hmm.
and be not looking as a career, you
Yes.
know. But another thing is how to say, like I said before in beginning, in Lithuania we study for 4 years. So
Mm.
if you're going for 4 years, it's not just a job. It has to
Yeah.
be more than job. It has to be passion and so on. If you giving your 4 years of your life, you know, to study something, it's, so you have to be dedicated. So that really impacts on the teachers, you know, and what we're looking for. Is it just temporary, or am I want to learn more, I really want to help people and grow with it. And it does reflect in the quality of services, really. So
Yeah. And you do have a very good reputation and brand built up. So it's very important that you get the right people for the jobs to maintain that.
I'm very very picky. That's why I'm struggling. There is a lot of people who are applying, but not many going through, because there is criteria. And even saying that, I am open to take people who not qualified. And even in my team currently, there is people who had, let's say, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 3 years ago or 5 years ago, they, if you would say that they will be a swim teacher, they would say, are you joking me? I wouldn't, you know.
Mm.
But they had passion of children and teaching, you know,
Yeah.
have passion of helping people. And
Mm.
this is one of the main things. So if you have that passion, this is something you cannot to learn.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is,
So
you have
true.
it or you don't.
Yeah.
So this is what I need. I need those teachers, or people who have passion for help and for teach, and they okay. The rest of it, everything you can learn.
Yeah.
So all psychology, all anatomy, all physiology, you can learn that. Techniques and methods, you can learn that. And that's the reason why sometimes I'm taking people as a person. If they're really really keen, I am investing my time, my money, my knowledge, everything in that person to make them better and grow,
Yeah.
and you know, make services better and customers happy, and show results, really. Because I don't believe it's only just about splashing. I believe
Mm.
about results and balance, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Wow. It's such a journey. And then you became a mom. How did you find that things changed for your business, for your emotions, for everything?
Drastically. So even though I worked so many years with babies and children, thousands babies and children before Max arrived. Max is my boy, who is 6 now, 6 years old.
He's so
So
gorgeous.
it's amazing because I thought before I had him, I was pregnant. And I was saying at the time I was working in a high performance center as associate with a head coach and working with swimmers and competitive swimmers. Also as working with the Swim Academy. So it's additional one. So I said I'll be back to work after 6 weeks. I will have Max. That was my initial thought, and it's just crazy. And I back after 6 months. And after 6 months, I decided, no, I'm not coming back yet. So it's just, you can say whatever you want, but actually could change completely differently. And Max wasn't a good sleeper up to 3 years. He did not sleep. So it was literally like zombie walking there.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, so it changed life dramatically. And of course, even now he's 6 years old, but I still need to make sure that he's getting up at school, having breakfast, going to school, doing his homeworks, and so on. But I building the team. This is what took me years to understand, that I always was like, that strong woman, I can do this, I can do on my own, I'll change the world, and it came the time I say, okay, I can change the world that much. If I will have a team, I'll change the world that much, so this is where I learn I need the team. And it doesn't matter is at the home environment or is it in business environment. And that's why I started building up, and so on. So at home, I also had au pair, because who helped me with Max and so on. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to deliver what I'm delivering, and so on. So I need a team, and I have great team. So that's very important.
Fantastic. And I suppose with teaching children for years, you probably thought you knew everything about kids, and when you actually have the experience of having one 24/7, it's so different. It's such a shock to the system, and the hormones that come with it as well, and they don't settle for a very long time. And
100%. This is where, like you have 1,000 kids, but you kind of play, you're making them happy, and then you're giving back to mommy or daddy, where here you have to deal with it. And if you will make a wrong decision, you will pay for that wrong decision for a while. If your heart, like, let's say, if you will give up for something, if you have routine and you will give up for something, you will pay for it. So we all humans, and we all have feelings and hormones. Oh my goodness, it was very, very tough. Very, very tough.
It is. I don't think people grasp until they become a mother. You just can't grasp the change in everything. Like I've 2 children. I have a almost 23-year-old and an almost 3-year-old. So I went through like the beginning, like a first-time mom twice, because of the 20-year age gap. And like it hit me like a ton of bricks the second time, of which I thought it would be no bother at all, but it hit me very hard, because it was starting over again.
I think nature is very clever. It's just that the way it is, that you kind of forgetting what you went through, to getting ready for new child.
You forget the pain of childbirth. You forget the exhaustion of raising a child. Nature is very
was like that, but you can't remember that really, really feeling. I know I didn't sleep for a long time and struggled, and absolutely, and it's hard, but it's so worth it.
It is. Oh my goodness, it wouldn't change it for the world. It's absolutely incredible. I remember my father, bless him, when he was alive, he could never understand if women complained about the pain and the difficulty in raising kids, why would they have more? He just couldn't grasp it at all. And we just forget. We forget how hard it is, and we just remember how amazing it is, and that love bubble as well. So nature is very, very clever with it. I have to mention as well, one of my favorite little videos that I have ever seen in my life is your little Max and your husband, Jason. And Max was only small in the high chair, and your husband was trying to feed him, and there was Footloose going on in the background. Is that on YouTube for people to find?
Well, I'm sure it is somewhere. I'm sure it is. I know it's on Facebook for sure, but even some radio or newspaper posted as well. I'm sure there is. Yeah, it's still going on. These kind of things is still going on. Jason is. This is like Max adores his daddy because like he is so entertaining. So we're having great fun. So this is where like I'm a bad cop and you know Jason is like a good cop. Yeah, no, Jason really goes to children's level, and he's really engaging, and he loves that. He feels
Yeah.
like free, and he
Yeah.
doesn't care what people think. He doesn't care, which is nice as
That's
well.
fantastic. I don't know Jason well. I've only met him very briefly a couple of times, but he does have an amazing character about him, a lovely personality. And that video is just brilliant with him feeding Max. It's incredible. So I'd recommend for anyone to go and search for it because it's so entertaining. Jason basically is rocking it to Footloose and getting Max to eat his food.
Yeah, what we wouldn't do just with children, entertainment. Yes, yes,
We'd do anything for them, wouldn't we?
yes.
Brilliant. And what would you find then would have been your biggest struggles in getting back in the saddle and getting back into the business side of things after becoming a mom?
Um, I don't even remember. So it probably wasn't like, I know it was hard times, but it
Yeah.
wasn't as hard because there's no like sticking out or something like
Yes,
that.
brilliant.
Yeah. So it's I just have to say it has to be a teamwork, and
Yeah.
I'm overprotective mom,
Hmm.
right? I'm getting better there now, which is crazy because I'm way overprotecting. So when my mommy is coming into to the swimming pool with babies, right? You
Hmm.
can kind of see and sense straight away this is her first child or not. This is is she quiet, relaxed, more personality, and it's okay, or is she really really minding and so on? Because I was watching like a hawk everybody who going like next to Max. So really really overprotect, and that's where I really really understand all the mommies. So
Hmm.
probably just leaving him, then I need to go to work. This is probably was the hardest part, and it
Yeah.
still is,
Hmm.
because as a mom I want to spend those days with him.
Hmm.
And like we're working quite a lot, even some part of the work we do at home in the office, but that office is locked and it's really really hard. Then child knows the parents are there but I can't see them. So this is the thing. This is where I struggle then to say, what will I do? Okay, I'm running business. Why I'm running business for? Do I run business for to make Max happy and family balance, or do I run business to grow and get more children learning to swim? It was a lot of debates in my head.
Hmm.
And then I have to say there is one person helped me a lot, and you know that person very well. It's Moira Geary.
Ah, yes.
So it's something that in one of her talks and explanations really clicked in, and I knew Moira from Swimming First. So Moira
Okay.
was one of my first clients. Her children was one of my first clients when I just moved on from Dell to swim teaching.
Yes.
And it's funny the way the life, because I
Yeah.
didn't see her for so many years, and her boys were swimming with me. At the time she wasn't doing what she's doing now,
Yeah.
but in her talks, so I knew her personally, and I knew the boys. I knew how they were kids and now they're grown men. And the way she said that the kids doesn't even remember really. We all about memories.
Yeah.
But I even asked Max, what do you remember the most? He's 6 years old. He doesn't remember what was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember. So we as a parent, we're trying our best, regardless what it is the best in our eyes. But he doesn't remember. And he probably will remember now because he's 5 or 6. So we remember. And I always concentrating in quality, not quantity.
Yes.
So in the swimming, there is the saying, don't count the laps, make the laps count.
Yes.
So I say, don't count the moments, make the moments count in life. So if I have the Max moment, I have to be present there for him. So it could be 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it has to be top quality instead of an hour or 2 hours and I'm in the phone, or just say, Max, wait a minute. So this is why I'm trying to, okay, I have you, you have my full attention and I'm working with you, instead of saying, oh yeah, I'm with him, but I'm not. But again, this is me kind of calming down and saying, it's okay, it works for me, it's not necessarily will work for another person. So this is very, very important. So that was debate, that was the hardest. Should I stay more at home? Should I go and work? This is the debate. So yes, I am working, but when I'm with him. So that's my compromise.
That's brilliant. I have to say as well about Moira, because that's so funny that she brought her sons to you to teach them to swim. My first experience with Moira, I was her teacher. I used to teach dance years ago, and herself and her husband Jeff came along to my dance classes. I taught salsa, Latin dance basically, and that was my first experience of her. And then for her to turn around and become my mentor years later, that was back before she was doing what she's doing now as well. And so that's just so funny, the way that the world works and brings people together. For anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about, Moira Geary, if you Google the Recombobulator, the woman is amazing. And she has a lovely Facebook group called Positive Recombobbers. She gives away so much free content on that. So if you are on a wellness journey, that is definitely one account to follow. Moira is incredible. And she gave me a lovely tip as well about parenting, which was, we are not responsible for how our children interpret things. That gave great consolation, because we're always saying, oh, we mess up our kids and this, that and the other, and trying to watch everything, and nobody is perfect, and we are not responsible for how they interpret something. We do the best we can. Obviously, it's not a out of jail card, free out of jail card, to be a terrible parent and then say, oh well, it's up to them how they want to interpret it. That's not what's meant by it at all. But by doing your best, and all you can do is hope that they interpret and perceive the great lessons out of everything. But I found that was one of the great parenting jewels that I took from her. That's incredible, really, isn't it?
Yes, Moira made big impact in general in my business as well. I did learn a lot from her. I did quite many things before, but I didn't understood why. And she just cleared that out, why and how it works. And it makes so much easier. So this is another thing which I'm really important, is constantly understanding that you need educate yourself constantly. You need to upskill yourself constant basis. Life is all learning school. And that's so important.
Definitely. It's like your personal hygiene. I always compare, like, say, wellness, because that's my area, and to personal hygiene. So like, if you had a bath once a month, you're going to get stinky in between, whereas if you shower every day, you're going to be fresh all the time. That's the exact same thing with your self-care and with your learning, and with I think it just applies across the board. A little and often is so much more important than a big chunk load and then nothing for ages. So important to keep on top of it, because our brain cells, they get so lazy so fast. And I must say, through quarantine, it's been quite quite difficult keeping on top of things.
Yes.
Yeah, how are you finding things with business, and how has COVID affected you, and when can you get back in the pool again?
Yes. So it did affect every single family, every single person, I think, on the world in somehow, in some ways, more or less. We basically stopped doing lessons on 13th of March, which was really a big shock. And but so we still had no lessons. We do engaging with our customers online. We posting, we do what we feel that they can get value out of it,
I've
like
seen some of them, and they're really good little tips, like the
yes,
kids in the bath, even, and what they can do.
giving
That's
home
fantastic.
exercises. Yeah, giving home exercises. Even now, every Wednesday, in evening Wednesdays, I have a live chat on Instagram, and I'm bringing some guests, just to give a value. And it's amazing, as more I'm talking with people, how everything is connected.
Yeah.
So this is what's so fascinated. Sometimes you can watch something completely unrelated, you would think, but it's actually so related, everything. I remember one of my mentors, a head coach, Lars Humer, he's guy from New Zealand. So he was going to watch how the horses are trained. Now he's a coach, swimming coach, right? And
Mhm.
it's just amazing. I remember when he was going back to New Zealand and he has his dog, he's watching the way his dog's swimming and analyzing
Oh,
this and how does it change, little things like that, which
yeah.
you would think like what it has to do with, swimmers. It's unreal. And the same, like the way we work, we work babies and children and adults, and understanding that there is the pathway like that. It's not like babies is one thing and children another thing and adults another thing. There is connection, and you can progress nice, from one to another one. So yeah.
Brilliant.
So
It's incredible, really.
mm.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. And then for when do you get, have you got a date yet with the
So we're
phases for?
hoping end of July. We depend on venues. So
Yes.
we depend on government guidelines, number one,
Yeah.
and then we depending on the venues.
Mhm.
We have different venues, and different venues have different situations. So in hotel is one rule,
Yeah.
in leisure center is another rule, in the school or hydrotherapy is the third or fourth rule. So they all have different ones. So we are hoping in the end of July and August, the latest what it will be in September for sure,
Yeah.
but we don't know exactly yet. We
Mhm.
constantly on our government bodies on webinars, listening every week, and every week is changing.
Yeah.
So customers is asking now. I have to say we have super patient and understanding customers. I'm so grateful for that,
Yeah.
because we all the same as like myself. We have Max's activities, different kind of activities, not
Mhm.
just swimming, which we don't know when they're coming back and so on. So
Yeah.
we all in this, and if
Mm.
that unit is there, we will support, we will get out way quicker,
Yeah.
so we don't have as date yet at
Mm.
the moment.
I have a lovely vision in my head of you all getting together and going to the beach and doing a social distance swim at the
Yeah.
beach with the parents and the kiddies and everything before getting back in the actual pool. It'll be so much fun. Might be something for you to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have
Yeah,
all
we're
the parents and
forming
kids.
laps at the moment, into the pools and giving exercises, different exercises. Or it's so lovely then customers are sending, the little ones are swimming in the swimming pools in the backyard. It's just
Oh
yeah, this is so great. Like we are so grateful. It
yes.
takes, just recorded. That means they thought that minute or that second about us, and
Yeah.
that means so much, so things
But
like
you've
that.
built up such a loyal following over the years because you've a very strong and authentic brand. It's really standing to you now. So there'll be no problem when you come out the other side.
Thank you, Valerie. No, I don't afraid about that. I it's a learning process, and again, it's the position. Like I'm so grateful for everything I have.
Yeah.
We know that we're putting all their hearts into it, and we know that our wishes to help is so it's real. This is what we want to do. It's more than job, it's a lifestyle. It's totally lifestyle. It's constantly going on. So like, let's say these days I'm so busy. I am busy. So today I had 2 hours walk with family, and that's what our family time. And before I have to get ready, plan in future. Now I have great team. So I have virtual assistant who helps me a lot. Sonia, she is amazing. She helps me so much. I have another girl, Miriam. She's fantastic. So they all have different things what they are responsible for, but without them I would get lost. I would be like, oh, it's not possible. And this is what, if people are starting, they're starting themselves. But it comes time that we need to think about, okay, can I grow now? And if I can grow, what do we need to do? Let's say I need more team. What team do I need to do? What resources I have? Things like this. Even to have an au pair, such a decision, right? Is you kind of, okay, somebody's living in your house, but that person comes in, kind of family member becomes, and things like that. So but I need that person. I need that person to make sure that Max is looked after, so part of the team. This is so yeah, I would say always. Somebody else told me, and this is important. Don't, what is it? Working on your business, not in your business.
Yes.
If you
so
want to.
Important.
Yeah. But everything has the steps. You can't jump over. It was the time then I started back swimming, teaching, and I also was coaching as well. So there's two different things: teaching children to swim and actually coaching athletes who are competing internationally. So there's two different skills needed. But because I started, nobody knew about me. So some girl comes in, oh, I want to coach. Can I join in? It's a little bit random. So I did work for free.
Yes.
But I didn't look that way. So I was waking up by the first good few months, right? In 5 a.m. in the morning, and it was another coach beside me who was totally paid and doing exactly the same the job I do. Yeah. It didn't bother me because I saw as investing into myself. And that did pay off. That did pay off because I worked it 5 a.m. in the morning, opening, a swimming pool, doing the training session, doing the programs and everything. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I still do. So whatever is with swimming, teaching, coaching.
And did you find it difficult? Because I know when a lot of people do that, when it comes to actually start charging the clients, they find it very difficult. How did you approach that? Did you find it difficult?
In beginning, yes, because confidence is not there. So in beginning, yes, and understanding the value you're giving, it's not there. So in beginning, yes, but later as it goes, you see how much work you're putting in. So you understand, like, I'm spending a lot of money to invest in myself, to give that knowledge to those people. So I can't just pay for them. They have to pay for themselves. And this is another thing what I learned: if people get for free, they do not value equally like they pay. This is proven so many times, and I understand there is people who, I want to do this but I don't have the money. Believe me, if they really want to do this, they will find the money.
So true.
Conversations could be one way or another way, or maybe you can wait and say, but you will do it. This is for sure. So no, I think what I'm charging, even people saying, oh, your lessons are very expensive and so on. So in that case, people doesn't understand the value they get for their children or for themselves, and actually for children's future.
Yes.
This is like going to, university or college or even school. You're investing for the books, uniforms, and yes, it is expensive. Absolutely agree. For some people, it's okay. For some people, it is expensive. But the value you're getting for that money and what impact it makes for you and your child and all the future, and God forbid, but it could save your child's life
Yeah.
or could say somebody else. So to know, to know compared to that. But I don't think everybody understands that.
Mm.
So this is the thing. So I think what we charging is very, very fair.
Yeah.
And I feel very, very comfortable with it. Very comfortable.
That's
I don't feel
brilliant.
like I don't find any difficult, because I know the value I'm giving. I would,
Yeah.
if I would say like I'm getting money but I'm not giving value, then
Mm.
it's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's brilliant to have that confidence in it, but that comes with time. So like if somebody here is listening and they're at the very beginning stages and they're like, oh my God, I couldn't charge that, this is something that comes with time. I'm sure you didn't just open the business and go, right, I'm charging this and they're going to get so much value. It's built and it's gradual and
It
it's
is
step
built.
by step.
It is built, but it is built, and you know this is another thing, oh, I can't charge and stuff like that. There is another secret behind, and you can probably talk more about it, why people think that they cannot charge more. So it's not necessarily the value. There is different reasons behind that.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
yours and Moira's area.
Yeah, there's so many reasons behind it. It's incredible. That's a whole another episode.
That's a whole different story. Yes, but understanding of it. So
Yeah.
if a person comes in and says to me, I'm kind of trying to figure out what's going on. Is it not value, or is it really can't? Or because we trying to be flexible. We do, but to the limit, because
Yeah.
we do invest a lot. And believe me, like, I would say people wouldn't believe how much money I actually invested in myself.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, is that these days, everybody value or swimming is important skill, but we don't actually, I don't think they understand the swim teaching and coaching is not just one course done and moved on. If you want to be good swim teacher or coach, but this is in every thing, it could be ballet, it could be, it doesn't matter, you have to keep going and traveling and educate yourselves. And the good quality content, you have to really pay for it. So the good quality content, unfortunately, let's say in our area, in swimming area, you cannot find on YouTube, you cannot find on this is just little elements, but you can connect fully, and the course is fully solid. It's crazy. Like I was in 2017, I went into Spain. And I spent a lot of money. That was big commitment because Max was 3 years old. So it was 5 weeks, 4 weeks or 5 weeks training.
Wow.
Like I'm qualified and stuff like that, but they're always going to see what kind of other methods in another side of the world is there. Is there any way better we can do? I don't like, techniques are changing, methods are changing. So I don't believe to stay and work the same over and over and over. So yes, so I went into Spain with no Spanish whatsoever. I had no Spanish, and it was all families speaking just Spanish. We didn't speak in English. And so I had to bring my boy with me, and I had to bring my parents from Lithuania to go to Spain to mind Max for 2
Which
weeks.
I'm sure they loved to get to spend time with him.
Yes, and then another 2 weeks is childminder was it. So you can figure out how much money it cost. Commitment from everybody. So it's not only, so for me to do the course, my husband is responsible at home for work, my family, and it's somebody else. So it's a teamwork. So I couldn't do that. So it's a big commitment. It's absolutely worth it, and I would do over and over and over again. So even now during this quarantine, I have a little bit more time extra where I'm not traveling with car from one pool to another pool. So I'm using this time for doing the courses, but those courses is in another language, and this is online course. So now I'm putting myself out of comfort zone to learn in Russian, right? Now, Russian, it
Wow.
was only at school subject, which, like I said, languages, not my thing.
Yeah.
So it's like probably a lot of people here now would do course in Irish. So every third word, then connecting, then you're translating, then so how much work to have one slide translate and put the right thing to understand how does it work? It's amazing. But this is what has to be done if I want to make it better.
Yes.
So that's it.
You're incredible. That's just so inspiring, like to be doing a course in another language because you are so passionate about what you do.
Yes, but we are so grateful because we have amazing technologies.
Yes.
Google Translation, different apps. This is no excuses. So if somebody,
Yes.
if there is in China, Chinese something, you still can work it out. It will take a fortune time, but you can do this. So there's no excuses for this,
Yeah.
so.
That is just brilliant. I love your attitude so much. It is brilliant because sometimes, you can make an excuse for anything,
Yeah,
really. But if you want something, you will find a way no matter what. People can
yeah.
move mountains if they are determined that they want something. Oh, that I love that. It's so lovely to find this out about you because I always admired you anyway, but this is like just extra, extra special.
Yeah, it's people, that's what I'm saying. People think, and a lot of parents think, let's say, they coming in, they do the work and they're going home. They
Mm,
don't know that even with our coaches, we have a separate group on Facebook. There is a training going on, there
yeah.
is connection, there's communication going on about each kid,
Mm,
and I have trust in my coaches when they're coming back home because I know they passion what they do.
mm,
Otherwise, they wouldn't work with Janice Academy. They
yeah.
passion what they do. They care what they do. They care about those children. And then we talk. Oh, how is this child this way? What can we do better? Is so. So this is the thing. It's a teamwork. It's a teamwork, and it's more than coming in on the pool site and doing what to do. To do preparation, you have to prepare. If you're not preparing, you're failing. That's simple.
That's
So,
true.
so
Yeah.
you have to put time and effort. So it's not only that lesson, half an hour or whatever it is. It's
Hmm.
way more behind,
Yeah.
more behind. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah. That's incredible what goes on behind the scenes.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You'd love to be able to show that to all the parents who are like, how much? If they
No,
only had a
it's fine.
glimpse
We
of.
have we have great customers. We
Yeah.
really do, and we have customers, long-term customers. I mean, we had kid, well, he's finished now, but we had nearly for 10 years and so on. So it's families is like becoming our families. We
Yes.
know more and more about them, and
Yes.
we see kids how they're growing. We know inside out what they like eat for breakfast, what's their
Yes.
favorite superhero. But these all things helps us to communicate and get better.
Yeah.
So it's a knowledge and finding solutions. This is another thing. You have to find solutions for everything. I had so many knocks. So this is for people who think, oh, it's just so easy to do that. I came in Ireland with 200 euros,
Yeah.
so
I
if
know
some,
English.
I know English, just hi, hello, my name is. So it's possible. It's possible. So nobody helped me there in terms of, extra or something like that. It has to be slowly. And it took long. I think people saying, oh, you did great. I say, probably could have done better, and so you're always pushing yourself further and further. So I had those knocks, and some of them are really strong, then you're building clientele and they're saying, sorry, you're not swimming anymore in this pool, and you have customers and everything, and you need to care about. There is knocks,
Yeah.
but you learn to, and that I'll find the way. But you know why? Because I know that those customers are so good and so loyal. Of course, there's different situations there and stuff like that, and somebody not comfortable to travel. Some people traveling 45 minutes, I had some people traveling 45 minutes for 10 minutes lesson. This is
Wow.
commitment, but it's results. That's what we know they will get, and kids
Yeah.
are happy, and the impact we do for future their lives, and how will it affect, this is what's important. It's impact, not just, oh, I'm traveling for 10 minutes, or it's not that. It's just understanding what's behind.
It is such a far cry from when I was in primary school getting swimming lessons, let me tell you.
Yeah, please do.
It is such a difference, because I remember, like, we just had the older kids teaching us, and they were horrible, and they just roared at us and told you briefly what to do, and then just expected everybody to do it. And it didn't matter if you were terrified to put your face under the water, they just do it, roaring it at you.
It's still going on, Valerie. It depends on the person, and sometimes there is people who are very good and they have a passion of teaching, but the knowledge is limited. How to do it, to find the ways. And some people have a knowledge, but they just like, I'm looking as a job only. So like teachers, across the board, I think teachers cannot be just a job, because they won't get as good results if they really going from the bottom of the heart. I really care how that kid will do, and what impact will be for future. This is the thing. Sometimes parents saying, oh, I don't progress or whatever, it could say something like that, and I don't care about that. For me, it's important what impact will be left. Then they will move on, because not everybody has swimming as priority. There is other ones. There's rugby and GAA and so on and so on. So every family has their own priorities and things like that. But the impact for future kids' life, this is very, very important for me.
That is just fantastic. I love it. I love the ethics all around your business. It's so beautiful. You must be missing the pool, or do you have your own pool in the house?
No, it's so funny, because Jason keeps saying, like, we should buy a small pool and just tide you up and you can swim in one spot, like on the treadmill. I said, no, don't yet. So no, we practicing in the bath. Max loves the bath. He's asking about swimming constantly, and me doing those courses and watching always, videos, and oh my goodness, I'm just missing kids, just to give them a hug, because I'm a hug person. I'm hugging everybody. So I am missing kids. And then we went in for a walk. We saw around 4 or 5, and they all changing, they all growing so fast. It's just incredible. So yes, I'm missing swimming, I'm missing pool, I'm missing kids, I'm missing parents, I'm missing that. But saying that, I kind of getting into routine with Max as well. So obviously you have to, after that long time, you adapting. And this is why humans are so strong, because we are able to adapt. And this is why kids are moving so quickly, because they are quickly adapting. It's ability to adapt, and to change energy. So let's say I do courses now, then I'll be back in the pool. It will be positive impact, for people and so on. So yes, I do miss.
So true, because it's not survival of the fittest, it's not survival of the smartest, it's survival of who can adapt to their environment. Fantastic. Well, it sounds like you're doing an absolutely amazing job. Do you have any final tips that you would give to a parent in business if they're setting up, or what would be your top tips, and maybe overcoming adversity?
So first of all, find what you really passionate about. Because I think, even though in 2020, right, you still can find, I'll put it this way. Sometimes I hear from businesses who starting it, am I overcrowded market? you know, that market is overcrowded, I'm not sure will I fit in and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking in the shop and just saying, okay, there's so many yogurts, right?
Yeah.
And there's new yogurts coming up, and there's new flavors coming off of yogurt. So the yogurt is yogurt, but there's new flavors of it, and there's new things. So you know, people still will look and attract and find it. It's just, if you have a passion about something, you know, don't expect to make it easy, but just be consistent and work towards it, and you definitely will see results. There is keep educate yourself as a person. So not only in the business, but as a person, as your self-developmental. This is so important, and that will make huge positive, you know, benefit for your business and your family and your personal life. Not to be afraid to fail, you know, like there is, I love the wisdom quotes and stuff like that, so quotations. So, you know, you didn't fail, you just found the way how it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's all.
How not to do it.
How not to do it, or which way it doesn't work. So you keep going and you will find the way which is works. Identity, you know, very often I see that, and I did that, you know, I was so worried. Let's say in the one of the venues where we are, there is over two companies or three companies do the same thing what we do. Well, calling the same thing what we do, but we don't, you know, we still do, let's say, baby swimming and baby parent swimming. But it's not the same, you know. Their goals are different, they teaching methods are different. So even the name is the same, they different. And I remember I was there first, and then two companies came in, and I was worrying, you know, oh my goodness, because they are big companies, big, you know, marketing and stuff like that. And I stopped doing that, because I understood I don't need to worry about them at all, you know. I need to focus what I do, what, you know, own my own identity, to be my own decisions, you know, and stand for those, and just be, you know, this is what I do, and I know how to explain why I do. I understand inside out, and so I'm standing strong behind it. And for that reason, those other companies doing advertising for me, that's the way I look. You know, they bring people from somewhere and letting to see somehow, and they bring it to me, you know. So it's the way you look, you know. If you will say I can do, you won't. If you will say I can and you will work it, you will. So this is very important. But then you going through this, your confidence will grow, you know, and that will give you more boost and more, you know, I want more, I need more. Time management, you know, this is the big thing, right? So there is different tables and how to manage what's important and urgent, not important, urgent, you know, things
I
like
know the four.
Yes, four. So this is really helpful, you know. And have, like, if you cannot manage yourself, find somebody who can do it for you. So this is another thing. I know I'm good at teaching. So this is what I'm focusing on. So now I have to move on, and I'm doing other things, and I'm getting good at those, but I wasn't beginning. But let's say my virtual assistant, she's very good with social media. So she's talent. So she's doing that. I'm creating the programs and methods. This is my job. Jason is good with services, his job. So if we finding people who are good at what they do in particular skill, and we need that skill, this is dream team, you know, and dream team and working together. What else? Extra mile, not to like extra mile. This is such a big thing for me. This is my thing, because these days everybody's saying like, oh, I did something, I have to pay for it. And it's great, it works for you. For me, I need to do extra. I need to get extra. I need to, and showing yourself out of comfort zone. You know, this is because those things happens when you are afraid and scared. Do one thing a day. Do you know that saying? You do one thing a day, which scares you. Yes, but this is so good. And and then you realize anymore that that thing, it doesn't scare you anymore. You know,
Yeah.
there's new thing scares, and I have to do that.
Yeah. And sometimes a small thing can scare you more than a
Mm,
big thing. It depends on the day, it depends on everything and what's going on in your life. But if you do step out of your comfort zone some bit every single day, you look back within a month, within 6 months, within a year, and you'd be gobsmacked at how far you've come.
yes, yes. One more thing which helped me actually, there is a circle. Now, I have a slide if I could show you.
Yeah.
So it's I'll show you there. Just 1 second. So it's really, really helpful. It's a circle. And this is what I'm learning from my mentors.
Yes.
Um, okay, so here's a circle. I don't know, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
So it's like a pizza divided in 3 parts,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the first part, it could be anything. Let's say me as a specialist, as a swimming coach, right? One is something, I could be in business for 10 years and comes day when I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this. I
Yeah.
just don't know how to deal with this. How can I run my business? I'm in business for so many years, but I just don't know how to deal with this particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where it's like, panic and confidence is going down very quickly,
Yeah.
right? Number two part where you do a little bit learning and searching about that thing, how to deal with this,
Uh-huh.
and you say, okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting more comfortable there. I
Mm.
still need to work on it. I still need to learn, but I'm okay now. I kind
Mm.
of know how to work it out. And number three, when you worked it out completely and you nailed it, and then you're like, yay, I nailed it. That's it. I don't need to learn anymore. I learn, like I'm top of the world. I nailed it. That's it. So, and then until something else comes in and then drops you to number one again.
Yeah.
So people are constantly circling in that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Mm.
The key is that you don't want to spend much time in number one because your confidence is not there completely.
Yeah.
You want to spend as much time in two because your confidence is okay, but it's still wanting to learn more. And
Yeah.
number three is stops you growing because you like, yeah, no problem, I know everything, I don't need to learn anymore. So this is what helped me, that in those moments when I'm struggle, I am in number one, I need to do something about it to move on to number two.
Mm.
And you could stay in one of those parts different time. You could stay one day in number one, you could stay month in number one, you can stay let's say 2 months or 3 weeks, I don't know, whatever time in number two, and number three could stay a year. So basically that the timeline could be so different, and if you ever struggle, say, okay, I need to do something about it, and this is temporary, this is not for long. I'll do something about it, I'll learn about it, I'll find the person who can help me, or so on, and I'll move on in that number two, and I learn about it. And if I'll solve the problem, number three, I know that next problem will drop me again. But this helped me to understand, that it's okay sometimes get lost in your expertise. you
Yeah.
know
I think it's very consoling as well to know that when you're celebrating, because afterwards it can be such a letdown and it's like,
Mm,
well, what's next? And you're feeling a bit lost again. But understanding the circle, you're not going to get stuck in number one as long or feel as overwhelmed when you
yes,
are in number one, because you know it's just part of the process. So understanding that is going to be such a game changer for people.
yes. So yeah, so things like this, just surround yourself with the right people. This is
Yeah.
another huge thing. If you feel people
Mm.
taking it much out of you, and it's not like, oh, I'm not getting back like anything from them, so I'm removing. But if you feel uncomfortable, or if you just, they're not encouraging you to learn, or they slowing you down or stopping you, then you need to ask, do I need this? do I need to find other people? And from my experience, it was sometimes people saying, yeah, but you can't expect everybody from the same. I can't. But if my standards is higher and I can't find those people who are working with me, if they're not reaching my standards, I need to find the people who reaches my standard and maybe going higher than I am. Do you know what I mean? So this is another thing. So you need to find the right people. You know, it's don't accept it just because sometimes people think if I would lose this, there's nothing else there anymore and I will lose completely. The world is big. And if you lost something, you might find something bigger. Even now with this situation, you know, I know like all businesses stopped and things like that. But we found different things. We noticed in
There's
family.
been amazing businesses
So many
pivoting. Yeah.
So maybe it opened another door, and maybe some people now, I know there's a very sad cases, you know, around and stuff like that, and everybody's different and their situation is different, but some people will recharge, they have energy with families, and they will go back and stronger and so on. As long as we will support each other and help each other, we will be okay. So my message, just work together, support each other, and you will be okay. You know,
finding the right people is crucial.
Yeah.
And it can be very scary. It can be a very lonely time when you're breaking away. If you find that you're not with the right people, that they don't gel with you, or they're not supporting you and they're holding you back. And when you break out of that, it can be very difficult. And for people who are quite introverted as well, it's very scary. But it's really important. And if you keep your head on the game, keep your focus, you'll almost magnify the right people to you without having to put in too much effort. It's amazing the results that can come from a very small effort, but once your intention is in the right place.
And the knowledge. This is another thing, because sometimes people don't know what to do and they're getting, you know, kind of overwhelmed and they're not sure what to do. So this is where self-development coming in, you know, and find the people and groups and so on. And you will go to 10 groups and 8 of them won't suit you at all, but those 2 will give you so much value. So all of this is coming through the time and experience. But like I said, there is people who gave me so much to change and understand the things, why and how I do.
Yeah.
And that made so much difference. And I still have so much to learn.
Never stop learning.
I'm looking forward to it. I do look forward to it. Yes.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. Deanna, it has been such a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for giving time, your wisdom, and your story. It was so interesting. I loved it so much. If anybody wants to get in touch and find out more about what you're doing, how can they find you?
So we have the website, Diana's. I know it's Diana. My name is Diana, but it's actually spelling Diana.
Yes.
So Diana Swim Academy .ie. We are on Instagram, Diana Swim Academy, and we are also on Facebook, and we are on YouTube. So those are the main platforms people can see. Like I said, we do lives on Wednesdays. We doing all kind of different tips and advices. And I always say to people, if they're not sure, just come in and ask. I have questions about different stuff, let's say swimsuits, it's even private, you know, but just come in and ask, and we will help you and we'll guide you, because this is what we think this is what we created for, you know. Yes. So we want to help people. Yeah.
Brilliant. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Deanna. And I really look forward to when we can meet up in person again and have a big hug.
100%. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.